Alright, gang, welcome back to our survival challenge here on New Frontier. It is May day 2. As we mentioned, we are going to be doing a little bit of work here in day 2. I've also done a little bit of work here on the front of the pin here for our water buffalo, as you can see, just trying to make it look a little bit neater, a little bit cleaner. I also am moving, well, I just screwed that one up, but I'm moving these bales over here to the silo. I think I mentioned that in the comments, that I'm pretty sure that the silo will hold straw, and it does, and it actually accepts it straight from the bales here. So that is a quick way, instead of having to buy a shredder, to get around putting straw into the actual pin itself. However, something I wasn't really expecting, when I flip to today and you look in here, if you look in the right hand corner right now, it says it has 24,000 liters of straw. Where did the straw come from? I mean, I've just been right now taking the bales from the front of it all the way over here. There was not even 24,000 liters of straw, I don't think, in the bales that we're bringing over here. Actually, there might be, but still, either way, I don't know where they came from. I'm a little confused. We should have 29,000 liters of straw in here, so I'm a little confused where the straw came from. But nonetheless, evidently there's straw in there now. Either way, we are going to be putting some straw in here, some actual straw in here, if it accepts it. It may not, it may accept it, maybe it doesn't, I don't know for sure, but let's put that there for right now. I've also done a little work over here. I've moved everything over here. I've also serviced everything. As you recall, in the last episode, I had purchased some things, and we had a lot of pieces of equipment that needed servicing. And I've also upgraded our area for our service place. We actually have a service station here on the farm now. It needs a little bit of work, so let's just do a little bit of touch-up work around it. I'm not going to spend a ton of time here. I'm going to do a lot of this, for the most part, off camera. But I will do a little bit here with you. I think I'm going to put some gravel out here. Oops. We don't want to do that. Just kind of touch it up a little bit here, you know. Try to keep a couple little splotches here and there of some grass that's kind of growing through the gravel, if you will, right? Alright, that'll work. I'm good with that. Happy with that. Figure like most of it's going to be kind of in this area, that it's going to be, how would I call it? You'd be driving a lot more in this area, so the grass is going to be growing kind of here in the middle a little bit more, I think, than anywhere else. Alright, that'll work. So we've got our service station out, which is great. And everything else I've put away. I serviced everything like I mentioned. So today, the main objectives for today, we need to do the second application of fertilizer here for most of the field. We're going to do that today. I also talked about breaking this field up and making it into a nether field. We're going to probably do that today as well. Let's go ahead and get into the semi for now. We're going to go ahead and unload the straw into this and see if it'll allow us to put it into the water buffalo pen. I've also done a small amount of work, admittedly not as much as I would have liked to. I just unfortunately did not have as much time as I would have liked. But I did do a little bit of work on getting rid of some of the trees in the area that we kind of talked about in the last episode, right? And so there's probably enough room for us to put a small sheep pen right here, which we probably are going to do. I've also taken away a few more trees over there, even though it may not look like it. I have. That's just a very, very dense area of trees there, so it's a little hard to make it look like you've made progress there, if you will. Alright, so we'll unload the straw here, and we'll see what happens. As far as the actual water buffalo go, they are in good health. 100% health. So, I don't know. I mean, the straw says there's well, now it says it's 86 liters of straw. I don't know. Maybe there's a glitch or something going on with it. I have no idea. Or perhaps it's because I unloaded it into here, because now it says straw 0. I don't know, gang. Maybe it does accept the straw from the bales. I have no idea. Either way, we're going to try to unload it this way and see if it'll work. Alright, we're going to have to try to line this up a little bit better because it's going to keep running into that. I might have to utilize something different here to be able to unload the straw into this pin here because it's having a lot of issues with the roof, as you can see. Okay, well, the straw's in there now, so I have no idea, gang. I guess it was accepting it by the bales. It didn't really seem like it, though. And everybody else in the comments also seemed to agree with me that it wasn't accepting it, but either way, it's in there now, so nothing to worry about. Haven't really been in the first-person view yet of this new semi that we picked up, but it's pretty nice. I like it. Now, this thing, it gets up and goes quick, man. It's fast. Alright, we'll turn that off. Alright, let's jump into... what do we want to use here? I guess we can use the Vulture. It's a new piece of equipment. We might as well utilize the Vulture. Today we also need to move all of those bales right there. We need to move those all over to our production. I think there are a few more straw bales there, actually, now that I'm seeing that. So I'll have to move those into the silo. That's fine. Probably also going to get rid of this shed today as well, since we kind of have decided to go away from the bales. We'll probably do that. And we'll see what else we can get into. There's a lot of other things to potentially do today. Just depends on time, and like I said, I want to try to get another field, another crop field put in over there by the grass field that we mowed. So let's hook up to the back of the fertilizer spreader here. We're going to do that one first thing first. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Things are good here. Zoom out here a little more. I'm not even going to turn on steering assist. I'm just going to do this by hand. Waste a tiny bit, that's fine. It's not a big deal. We got 130 grand right now. It is May day 2. We're going to make a lot more money when it becomes June. Now, the day today, even though you didn't see that when I was doing a little bit of work off camera beforehand, did start out with rain. Looks like it's going to be sunny the rest of the day, though, so that's good. Now, as far as our other fields go, I do not think anything else is ready to harvest today. It is not. It will not. Well, it wasn't ready in the last episode, so does he? But I think in the next episode, there's a potential that one will be ready. I think. This one might be ready in the next episode. Now, does this thing have the ability to change? It does have the ability to change the width. Good, we'll do that on the way back. Yep, that should be sufficient right there. So, some nice progress was made between the last episode and this one. Some nice upgrades. Upgrades that I think are useful and help us out. Now, today, as far as the sheep go, we might look at that location, at least put down a new pen for them. I'm not sure if we're going to get them moved today or not. It really depends on the time that we have and everything else we still have to accomplish today, which is may not seem like a lot, but there is a lot to do today still, so really just going to depend on time, and at a minimum, we'll try to put down the pen, though. Alright, so we're going to bring the Vulture back over here. We're going to pick up the Dulcifar there. We're going to head back over here and hook up to the Bednar. We're going to head over and start working on creating a new field over here in this location. I need to look and see what actually can be planted right now. We do need to do a little bit of cleanup work before we do that, though. We need to make some kind of a track in the middle or some kind of a separation between the two fields there, so we're not overlapping if at all possible, right? So I'm going to move this over here where these bales are, because we're going to utilize this to move these bales here in a little bit. Yeah, there are 3 straw bales. So we can take those straw bales and put them into the silo just so we have some storage. And maybe we even bring that over to the water buffalo as well. They had plenty of room for straw, and there's not that much straw in there, so maybe we do that too. Alright, let's get into the adults far here. Let me drop all this stuff off. I don't need the woodworking, the forestry stuff anymore. At least not for right now. I shouldn't say anymore. I do need them, but I don't need it for right now. But we do need this tractor because this tractor is the only one that actually has the horsepower that we need to be able to pull that bednar. Now, I will admit, I did try to do a couple of things that I know other people do, specifically on PC. It's a little bit easier than me on console. I did try to buy some land and, you know, just literally to buy it to put down a bit of a road or a track and sell it back. Now, if I was to do it by hand, it would allow me to do so. But if I wanted to utilize the nice mod that I have that creates dirt tracks, specifically what we're getting ready to drive over right here. So if I wanted to put down this type of a dirt track, kind of leading all the way up to the shop, excuse me, and all the sell points and everything else, it won't allow me to do that. It says that, you know, you have something on the land that needs to be removed before you can sell it back. So it's a bit unfortunate. What I could do, I guess, is kind of what I talked about, right? And just go about it with doing it by hand, and then eventually, if we own the land, we can upgrade it. So I guess that's an option, but it's not really the option I wanted, if I'm honest with you. But it is an option nonetheless. Okay, so let's see. Excuse me, gang. So I think what we're going to do here, we need to make some kind of a, I don't know if a track's not really the right word, but at least something that kind of separates these fields, and probably just going to be kind of a bit of a grass area, right? I'm not the best at doing this, so you're going to have to bear with me here. But if we do something like this, I think this should work out well. Just got to make sure I don't, you know, kill. I mean, it feels like it kind of is not at a perfectly straight line anyway. So, like, if I can do something like this and then go that, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to, right? If I have to kill some, I have to kill some. But I'm just gonna try to go like this and try to keep that path going as much as I can here. I'm gonna go over the line a little bit. We know that. We'll have to get the plow out and touch it up if we need to. But as long as I can keep it relatively close, I think we're gonna be okay with this. And there's going to have to be some work done on the other side as well whenever that time comes to harvest that field, just to kind of touch that up and make it look a little bit better, excuse me. All right, so I finished that, gang. I actually did a pretty good job. I even put some meadow grass down there. Problem. Big problem. We can't drill anything today. I swore we could drill canola today, and I actually thought that this actually had sorghum in it. It does not have sorghum in it. We cannot drill canola either. We can drill sorghum, but we don't have sorghum in this drill. So that means we're not drilling today, gang. Simple as that. Unfortunately, I just wasted my time by driving this all the way over here, and yours, I guess, to an extent. But, yeah. I make mistakes, man. I'm not perfect. I should have probably looked at that before I drove all the way over here, but I swore that I looked in the last episode and saw that it was possible to drill canola, but yeah, it's not. I just looked at it wrong. It was carrots that you can drill, not canola. It is what it is. What can you do now? There's nothing I can do now, actually. That's not even what can you do. There's just nothing you can do about it. Just have to put it back over here and wait. But that's okay. We still have enough that we're going to be able to do today, gang. It's not like it's now we now have nothing to do. We've got plenty to do today. Plenty to do today. And one of those things is kind of working on that field. It's something we were going to have to do anyway. I was just going to go ahead and start the drilling process and then kind of get the plow out a little bit later on. Maybe have a worker do a little bit of the drilling for us, and we take over doing some of the plowing and stuff, right? So we've got some plowing to take care of. More specifically, in that area that we were getting ready to drill, we want to extend those fields. I've kind of talked about this already, right? Now that we kind of have moved the main yard area and we know for a fact that what we're doing over here in this area, I'm going to expand these fields a little bit. So more specifically, what we're going to do here is we're going to take this field. Well, I say this field. It's not even. It's a grass field, but it's not a full field yet. But my vision here is to kind of cut this field off, at least for now, temporarily. Here, basically take this line and go straight down here, if you will. The rest of this can stay grass because we still have to pull trees over here to this sawmill, right? And we've got enough room now to do it, as long as we keep this area open, so I have enough room to turn around if I need to, right? So that, I mean, that's fine. But basically, we're going to take this field and drag it all the way out here to kind of this area right here, right? And then we'll go up to here, cut it off, and then we can do the same thing here. I'm not sure we're going to expand at this field today, but that's the same idea, right? We're going to extend it out to here, all the way up to here. At least that's where I'm planning to do. This is going to go away. Actually, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and just get rid of it now. Okay, so that opens up a lot of more room here as well. As far as what we're going to put here, I don't know yet. We'll find something for it, but that's a to be determined area for sure. Not anything set in stone yet, if you will. All right, so we're going to attempt to try this here and see how this goes. This is a great plow, but it's not a perfectly straight plow, so you're going to have some awkward shapes here. It's really hard to get a straight line, if you will, at the end, because it isn't a perfectly straight line at the end. It's a, I guess I'd call it like a V-ish, V-shape, some sort, right? There you go. You can see what I'm talking about. It kind of, drags over a little bit and makes a bit of a V-shape-ish. But that's all right. As long as it's close, we can touch it up with a little bit of paint and then a little bit of meadow, right? Now, this isn't a huge expansion, and I get that, but I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit. Make our area look a little bit better, right? When you're starting out in a series like this, it's kind of difficult to get a true vision of how you want things to play out or things to look. I mean, once you get, a little bit more solidified, which I would say that we are more than solidified at this point on this series, you have a much better idea of how you want things to look, right? Initially, you'll have these ideas, and they're in your head, and they're great ideas, but then once you actually put it to paper, if you will, pen to paper, if you will, that it may, your plans change, right? You see different things, and you decide to do different things based off of sales or whatever your focus is, which requires you to kind of shift and modify some things as you move along. All right, so that field is technically ready to go. Now, the big problem we're going to have is the grass is going to be growing, and we're not going to be able to put anything in there. Oh, let's see, until what? Many, many months from now. The other option we could do, it's not a bad option. It would require us to spend some money, but we could buy a second drill that allows us to put in, things like sorghum and soybeans. Because we can still harvest it with the same harvester. Does give us more options too, right? We could get a different header and do some sunflowers and some corn, things like that, which I'm not fully against. As a matter of fact, what's in the used market? Anything? Not really. There's a planter. I'm going to try to stay away from root crops, I think, on this series, with the exception of the sugarcane, which I don't necessarily know if I'd call that a root crop, but you get what I mean. The carrots, the parsnips, that kind of stuff. We're going to stay away from that because we are doing that now in the Survive 25 series on Farm 2. We're doing a heavy, heavy focus on those root crops, so I'm going to stay away from those. But let's see. What kind of planter can we get out here that's not outrageous and won't take up all of our money? I don't think we need it to be too big of a planter. 6 meters isn't bad. How much is the bednar that we have? Oop, not the construction. How much is the bednar that we have? All the way at the top, isn't it? It's all by alphabetical order, of course. It's 6 meters. I don't really think 6 meters is a big... I mean, I don't think that... I'm kind of wording that wrong. I don't think 6 meters is a bad width. I think that's a pretty decent width for what we're currently working with, right? So $59,000, and it allows us to do both fertilizer and seed. I don't think that's that bad. And given the size of what we're doing here... Well, we own it now, gang. I'm going to go, I'll go head back up to the shop there. I'll pick that up. And, yeah, we're going to get to work putting in either soybeans or sorghum. We decide whatever we decide to do. Probably sorghum, I think. I want to do some sorghum. But we'll find out. All right, we are back here. Let's get this thing filled up. I had some solid fertilizer up at the shop, so I figured I might as well just go ahead and load that up there. It doesn't hold that much, so maybe a lot of trips here. I don't know. I guess it really just depends on how much it actually eats up while we're doing it, but... Quick change of plans here. The drill that I bought, which I stupidly didn't even pay attention to, just was one mind focused on something here, trying to get something in the ground. It does not have the ability to do a direct drill. So that means we either have to plow the field up or we'll have to cultivate the field up, whatever. In this case, we're going to plow it. It's not going to take us that long. It's not that big of a field. I've already started to kind of line out the path here. The rest of it's pretty simple, right? I just turn off the create your own fields and we just plow up what we've already created. It's not a big deal. So we'll work on that, and then we'll get the drill out. Now, I think I've fully decided, I think at this point, to do sorghum. So we're going to put some sorghum in there. We got a little bit of touch-up work to do here on the outside edges, which that's fine. We will do that as well. And then when all of that's said and done, we've got to get those bales over, like I mentioned, right? We'll put the grass bales into our production, and then the straw bales can go into the silo for now, and move them over to the water buffalo if needed. So yeah, let's get to work here, gang. This is not going to take us too long. It really won't. And we'll have a nice, well, I guess this is technically going to be called our 5th field, right? Technically our 5th field. Taking us a long time to get to this point, man, but it's exciting. Let's get to work. All right, well, we're nearly done. I've got to fill up the fertilizer here. We were not going to be able to get all of this done. There's only 1 liter left, actually, by the time I hit the end of that. So go ahead and fill that up a little bit, and we're going to get back out here and finish this up. So I was having a hell of a time with the steering assist, which I'm sure you already saw. I think it's because, you know, I kind of sectioned these 2 fields off, right? It's pretty clear where one begins and one ends. But down here, the grass field and everything, it's still technically connected to this. So I think it still thought that that portion of the grass field over there that we're not drilling was still a part of this field. So I think it was wanting to go up and down the other way, if you will. If that makes any sense. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense or not. The best way I can explain it is I'm going, you know, up and down this way. I think it wanted to go up and down this way, to the left and right from where we are right now, if that makes sense. So I think that was the biggest problem in what was going on there. So decided to just do it the old-fashioned way, go by hand. So that's what we're doing. So didn't take us too long, though. We're nearly done. It does have the grass below it, so it should already have a first application of fertilizer. So in theory, except for maybe that section back there that we expanded, it probably won't need a second application of fertilizer. Or if it does, it'll be very spotty, kind of like it was over there. When we put down our sugarcane, right? And the reason that one was spotty is because it was just generic weeded up grass beforehand. So that's kind of what I envision or I imagine that section over there that we expanded to be in the next episode. There's a bit of touch-up work I think I might try to do in the middle. It might just be the tire marks, but I'm a little afraid that I missed a couple tiny sections there, so I'm probably going to drive over there and just kind of drive over them, even if it is a little bit of a waste of seed and fertilizer. Meaning, it was already drilled, it just looks like it wasn't because of the tire marks. And we also probably need to take a look and make sure that our greenhouses are doing good. I would assume they are. I would assume there's no reason to believe they need water because we did fill them up a couple episodes ago, right? Yeah, they're okay. They're okay. The sawmills, obviously, they're still doing fine. It's going to take us a while. It's already gone and chewed through everything for the most part here. Oh! Way to go, Z. Way to go, buddy. Way to not pay attention. So, we're fine there. Is the long story short, we're fine there. No other housekeeping stuff needs to be done. Now, one thing that might need water are the sheep. We haven't not really given the sheep a whole lot of attention here lately. They don't. They still have 662 liters. They had like 800, 900 liters in the last episode. So I would suspect, though, between now and June, they will. Obviously, May day 2, it's still May, right? So they're not going to eat up that much water in one day, but... So we're up to $108,000. We are selling, obviously, a lot of stuff as we move along. Now, one thing we need to talk about, the log cabin's kind of been sitting in at a stalemate here for a little while, right? It's just sitting stagnant for a couple of episodes. Mostly because we don't have prefab walls. We do have other things we can bring up there to it. The long planks, I think, is what it's utilizing right now. We do have those, so we could bring those up there, right? And touch that up, fix those, fix the, or I say fix, get at least started on part of the next stage. But we need those prefab walls. Now, I was talking with a few of you in the comments, and a number of you in the comments said, well, I believe there is something out in Mod Hub for prefab walls. I'm going to have to look for that. Admittedly, I have not looked at that yet, so there may be something out there, but I have yet to see it. So if I can find something for prefab walls as far as a sawmill goes that's cheaper than the base vanilla game, which the base vanilla one's like $300 and some $1,000, we'll utilize it. We certainly will. I certainly could have missed it. I don't know where it is or which one it is, but. And I don't know if maybe it's just not much cheaper, or maybe it's around the same price, rather. Where am I going to put this at? Can we tuck that in back here? I think so. I think so. We're running out of room in this shed. Now, we still have plenty of room in the bigger shed. But I was kind of saving that for equipment that, you know, is a little bit wider, kind of like the harvester, right? But I think we're at a point now where we're going to kind of have to consider putting some stuff in there. All right, so that field's done. My controller batteries are low. That's not good. We're going to take this really quick. It's just something that's been bothering me for a little while, and I haven't done anything about it, but we're going to now. These little stumps here that I took out when I put down this road here, they've been sitting here. They've been kind of bothering me for a couple of episodes. I said we were going to get rid of them, and then other things came up and ran out of time, and we didn't do it. So we're going to go ahead and clean that up right now. So we'll go put this back over where it belongs. One other thing we're going to do, another thing that's been on the list of things that I wanted to do, but, you know, we've kind of pushed it down for whatever reason. Today we've got the time to do so. We're going to put down a power washer. I'd like to, we're not going to power wash every piece of equipment today, but as we move along, we will. And I've got a perfect spot for it. It's going to be over here by our, I thought I had another one than that. I thought I had, I mean, it's not that expensive. It's not a big deal, but I swear I had another power washing type of piece of equipment that I downloaded on Mod Hub. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. I swear I did, though. There wouldn't be anywhere else, probably, would it? No, I guess it wouldn't be. All right, well, I guess that's what we're going with. Do I have to drive this down here by hand? If that's the case, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I'll find another one. We'll put it back up on the list. It's back on the list. It's back on the list. Ignore me. It's back on the list. I don't want to drive that from the shop all the way down here. That would be brutal. All right, let's get into Vulture here. So we've got some straw bales here. We're going to put these into the silo for now, as I mentioned. I'm probably going to drop one on the way here, but we'll do what we can to not drop them. And there goes one. Well, I guess it's going to go over there for now. This Vulture is great, man. It's been a real help for us having two of these tractors on the farm here. Uh-oh. It fully died. I did not realize it was going to die that quick. Normally when it says your controllers are low, it gives you a few minutes. And by a few minutes, I mean normally I have like 10 minutes. That was not the case. Apologies, gang. All right, that's done. Let's go get the grass bales. We'll bring the grass bales over here to our production barn here so we can turn those into silage. We do have some silage in there. We could go sell that as well. Although we want to try to keep some of it, though, because we're wanting to try to make some TMR, right? So That's probably the next step for us, is to figure out how we're going to make TMR for the water buffalo. Why is it not accepting the grass? Perhaps it doesn't accept bales? I thought we brought all the bales over here last time, though. That's weird. That's really weird, isn't it? I swear we brought the bales over in the last episode. Now I'm going to have to go back and watch the last episode yet again. It's been a couple of days since I did the last episode, to be fully transparent with you all. And by a couple of days, I mean it's been almost a week. That's weird. Isn't it? It's not full, is it? No, we've got hay active. I think there's enough hay. I can probably turn this off. But then the silage is active too. There's plenty of room. It says incoming material 7,300. What? I don't know. I'm confused, gang. I'm very, very confused. Oh well. We'll put it over here for now, I guess. We can get it out with the trailer. Whatever. Probably should be upgrading my tent. I mean, I've been living in that tent for a very, very, very long time. I just did not expect the... I didn't expect it to take as long as it has to make the log cabin. There's a mistake on my part. All right, so I'm going to perk this here for right now, just temporarily. All right, so we got something down here, gang. We spent a little bit more money, but it's going to work out well for us, I think. And I think I figured out what's going on with the straw here. I think it's just on a universal sharing item, because we put down this new building over here, as you can see. What this is a TMR mixer. It's just basically some silos and some old buildings. We just kind of tucked it in here nicely underneath these trees here. Easy access for it. We'll do a little bit more work, obviously, around it. But anyway, you can see the storage here has 28,037 liters of straw. So I think it's just kind of shared universally whenever I put this in here. Even though it says silo wood no share, it's still sharing it, evidently. And look, the grass is just going out in a hurry. So I guess this actually is sharing. I don't really want it to, so we're going to probably have to change this out, I guess. It won't be today, but maybe in the next episode we'll change it out. Anyway, we're going to switch this to distributing. And we're going to set this distributing as well. And then we will turn this on, and it'll be storing. And hopefully we can start making... some TMR here out of this, which is really what we need for the water buffalo, right? Now, are we going to need all of what we're going to probably get with all the grass and everything that we have to mow? Probably not, no, but the straw will keep us honest, right? We don't have a ton of straw, so I guess that's the way to go about it. But hopefully these will now distribute over to that mixer, and then the mixer will provide us with what we require, right, for TMR. But we'll have to wait and see in the next episode. We're going to leave it here. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you did. Subscribe if you're new. All that stuff absolutely helps me out more than you could possibly imagine. Thanks so much to my 12 members. If you want to become a member, links in the description down below. Early access to videos like this and a members-only series, along with your name in the end credits, plus other bonuses. Yeah, we'll leave it at that point, gang. It's been productive. We're in a really good spot. I was going to potentially put down the sheep pen today. We decided to hold off on that based on the fact that we bought this and had to buy a new drill today. So we're going to hold off because the one I want is more than $65,000 anyway. So we'll hold off on the sheep. They can wait one more month, and then we'll deal with the sheep here soon enough. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.